Hello, my friends. I hope that you are doing well. I hope your family is safe and well. We are taping this on a gorgeous, bright Monday afternoon here in the Pacific Northwest. The sun is shining. My family and I just got back from a week-long vacation 2 days ago. We were supposed to be in Cancun, and that didn't work out. So we improvised and found a nice ranch over in northern Idaho and spent a week there. Lots of good family fun, bonding, laughter, etc. While I was there, I was thinking about you and how I could continue adding value to your life through this crisis. And while I was there, I wrote this next series of videos that I'm entitling The Crisis Wise Leader. Crisis wise, being wise in a crisis, while the pressure that we're feeling, the uncertainty, the anxiety, the financial pressure. Some leaders are going to crack and crumble and make poor decisions and shrink up into a ball, and other leaders, like yourself, are going to exhibit wise decisions. We don't need cheerleaders right now. We need leaders. We don't need just rah, we can get through this. That has a place, but we need strong leaders who are crisis wise. So the next series of videos, 5 or 6, is going to be on the traits of a crisis wise leader. So number 1 today is this: the crisis wise leader understands and communicates context. The crisis wise leader understands and communicates context. While we were in northern Idaho, my wife loves to do jigsaw puzzles, and this is the one she's working on now. And as she was working on it, I noticed her strategy. She lays out all the pieces, and then she puts the frame together, the outside edge, and she constantly has the box up to look at. And as I was watching her begin to put this jigsaw puzzle together, I thought about leadership as a lot like this. I bet when you started 2020, you had a pretty clear picture of what you wanted to accomplish. I did. I had my VSO strategy sheet out for Q1, 2, 3, and 4, the things my team and I were going to do, the goals we were going to set, the metrics we were going to hit. I bet you had a fairly clear picture of what 2020 was going to look like. And then all of a sudden, that's out the window. That's the context we have to communicate. And I thought about what it's like to put a puzzle together without a reference point to look at, sometimes without even the border edges anymore. As leaders, that's what we are left to do right now. We don't have that reference sheet to look at anymore. We don't have a lot of the puzzle pieces we had before. So now as leaders, we are forced to do this. We're forced to take the remaining puzzle pieces we have and try and put them together and figure out how this thing is going to work. The crisis-wise leader understands context, and the context is this: what we had planned for 2020 is gone. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. Some of those things are gone. The puzzle pieces we have remaining are what we need to work with. Now, let me say this for a second. It's easy to throw the box top down, but in reality, those are hopes and dreams. For me and my family, that represented some big projects we had this year, and those may not happen now. We had some big goals, and those may not happen now. And it's easy to toss the box aside to make a point, but there is real loss and anxiety and sometimes fear and uncertainty that goes along with not being able to have a clear picture in front of you. Some of my clients here at Leaders Edge, when uncertainty comes in the picture, a lot of anxiety, sometimes depression enters the picture as well. But that is the context. And one of the first roles of a leader is to communicate context clearly. This is our new reality. Take your team aside. This is our new reality. We don't have the clear picture we once had. Here are the remaining pieces, and now for the time being, we are forced to create a different picture with some new pieces. In the military, we were given this thing called the OODA loop, and I want to share that with you to help walk you through this. The OODA loop, O-O-D-A, OODA loop stands for observe, orient, decide, and act. When this first hit, we're in the reactionary phase, and then we began to observe. What does this look like? We begin to gather information. That's the observe stage. We're probably still doing that. Observe, look around, watch. How are people reacting? What tools do we have? What puzzle pieces are left on the table? Orient. Okay, team, let's get together. Let's talk about what this looks like. Where can we go? Where can't we go? After the initial shock hits, we look around, we pull ourselves up. I hope some of you are pulling yourselves up right now. The loss, the anxiety, the fear, maybe some of the depression. Now it's time to orient ourselves. We look around and then we decide. That's the D, decide. Here are the next things we can do. Here are the puzzle pieces we have left. No longer lament what's not available. That time has passed. Now we begin to decide the road ahead. Maybe it's 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. We begin to decide, okay, team, gang, here's what we're going to do, and then act. Let me say this about act. I said before at the beginning of this that this is not the time for cheerleaders. This is the time for real leaders. Act. Make one step. Maybe that's all you do this week is make one step forward. Take that one step. Your team, the people around you, your family, they need to see you exert real leadership and act. Move in a forward direction. Early on in these videos, I said this, that real leaders take distraction and create traction. Find 1 or 2 things as you observe, orient, decide. Find 1 or 2 things. We're going to act on this. We're going to get creative and do this thing. Crisis-wise leaders keep doing that OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. Then you do it again. How did that play out? Observe, orient, decide, act. Observe, orient, decide, act. I hope this helps you. Helps you become a leader that communicates context. Not just a cheerleader, but a leader. Keep replaying that OODA loop with yourself and your team and figure out how you can gain traction in this thing. Crisis-wise leaders describe context. They communicate reality. My name is H.R. Huntsman. This is Leader's Edge. My passion is to invest in leaders, to invest in you. I believe that leaders change the world. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Look for the next video in this series. Now go lead and go shine.